That is James Mennie. He is over at the Montreal Gazette. So, Jim, we're still trying to find out, waiting to find out what exactly the next step is in this whole kerfuffle as far as the provincial Liberals, or at least as far as Pablo Rodriguez is concerned. The latest update on this was, of course, the woman who she let go, Genevieve Hans, now has served her a mise en demeure, a lawyer's letter. Anything developed that you've seen on this so far today?
Well, the development that I've seen, the development that knocked me out of my chair, and the development that, even with all the years I've been doing this, Aaron, every now and then I just roll my eyes and go, and as it's on my Twitter profile as well, you can't make this stuff up. Because the fundamental question here that I guess nobody asked because they figured the answer was so obvious is that, is it illegal to buy votes in a leadership contest? And guess what? It isn't. So, strictly speaking, Aaron, there is no wrongdoing being done. It's not like They can turn around and say, hey, whoa, let's call you back. No, you don't have to call you back. And I presume the rationale would be that whereas you cannot buy votes, apparently, in a general election or in a by-election, let's face it, political parties are, to all intents and purposes, even though they have to produce annual reports, they are, private organizations. They're like a club. You have to have a card to join. Right? So this message that's coming out, and it's a message, quite frankly, that I think has really rocked a lot of the political class up in QC today back on their heels. And in fact, our lovely Legault government in the person of Jean-François Robert is going to look and see whether this is a loophole that has to be closed. He's responsible, on top of everything else, he's responsible for democratic institutions. Now, but there's another fundamental question here, or perhaps a conclusion that I've reached, is that no matter what happens, first of all, we are going to get to the bottom of this sooner or later. I suspect TVA will get to the bottom of it sooner than the Quebec Liberal Party. But all that said, Aaron, there is a fundamental message being screamed by these developments. And it's a message that, quite frankly, makes me think of my favorite line from a movie, that noted political thriller Jurassic Park, because they were so busy trying to figure out if they could do this, they didn't ask if they should. And in fact of the matter is, I don't think whether you're an ordinary person, whether you are a political junkie, whether you are just a casual observer, I really can't think of anything more sleazy than the idea of paying money for votes. No matter who is responsible, and I'm sure once the responsible parties are found, they will be sanctioned to the fullest extent of the regulations, if not the law, because the law doesn't cover it. But there is a message coming out today that somebody apparently, and I stress apparently because that's all the information we have so far, within the Liberal Party, who figured, either, or from outside the Liberal Party, which might even be worse, who figured, here's this great loophole, let's have some fun, and let's start paying people to vote. Paying people to vote. Everything else, for most people, Aaron, is just white noise. All they're going to hear is paying people to vote.
Yeah.
And it's going to be there is not enough Lady Macbeth soap to scrape that blood off your hands, let me tell you. This is going to be hanging around the Liberals' neck for a very, very long time. And, of course, my question, just the fundamental kind of crime scene question is, with all the clever, genius people, smartest people in the room, as I say, in the Liberal high command, and we hear as well from the president of the party that, I heard something vague about this last spring. Did no alarm bells go off? Did nobody say, holy moly, let's take a look at this? And indeed, no one asked even back then, is this illegal? Is it possible someone turned around and says, okay, it's not illegal. What's the big deal? Not my problem. Because this is it. In the end, this damage to the Liberal brand, which was in the process, slowly but surely, of, it was in kind of like, how can I put it, physical rehabilitation therapy from all of the bad press it had over allegations of corruption and so on and so forth. We were supposed to be hitting the reset button. Guess what? We just got pushed back 50 light years, Aaron. And no matter how often Pablo Rodriguez turns around and says, there will be consequences, the consequences are already being felt. And I shudder to think what the next Leger poll, or the next poll probably coming out, after this, is where it's going to place the Liberals. Because honestly, the most nefarious evil genius in any other party who wants to scuttle the Liberals couldn't have come up with a better plan than this.
But here's what I'm thinking, Jim. At the end of all this, when we finally hear from Marwa, when this thing finally settles, what if it turns out it's about one person and Pablo had nothing to do with it and actually didn't know, and that's what an external investigation turns up?
I don't think it's a matter of assigning blame. I think it's the fact that it happened. If you want to tell me, the external investigation finds out that there were no bought votes, but the external investigation finds out that there were, doesn't matter who was pulling the strings, Aaron.
Someone should have known,
is that it happened. The exercise, if this is what happened, if votes were purchased, even for $100, the exercise has been tainted. It's as simple as that.
Right.
And to turn around and say, well, we had nothing to do. I know. I will presume good faith is that nobody I'm looking at this press conference had anything to do with it. But the fact is, it happened. Okay, and the how can I put it? The rather foul aroma of paying for votes, no matter what the circumstances, is going to be sticking with this party for some time to come.
All right, we'll move on from that. I have the mayor in coming up just after 5:15. Soraya Martinez Ferrada will be in studio. I'm going to ask our listeners, for some comments, questions, etc., that I could put forward. So, the expectations, I guess, and I saw the story today in the Gazette as well. Big challenges ahead. We have a new executive committee. So what's your take so far?
Well, like I say, this is not Soraya Martinez Ferrada's first rodeo. She is old in war, as they say. She's got a lot of political experience, and I think she's done a very good job, first stepping up during the transit strike. And now, kind of doing a reverse management of expectations, saying, yeah, I know expectations are high. There's part of me that looks at the turnout for the election, the tone of voice, some of the comments we've been getting on the show that suggest to me, people just shrugged and said, whatever, good luck. I hope it works out, but I don't really expect too much. It's been 8 years. I'm kind of punch drunk and this and that. So maybe that might be part of it, but certainly I find that the mayor has a very, very good eye and ear for managing situations. But Aaron, I have to tell you, it's going to be. She's going to be live when she's in the studio?
She's going to be in the studio.
It's going to be all you can do, my friend, to reach over and not to hug her when I share this news with you. I don't know if you saw the news.
I've not.
Aaron. You haven't seen the news. Okay. Borough of Outremont has taken 200 meters of bicycle path that was open year-round, closed it for the winter for parking.
What? Say it ain't so, Jim.
As I say, I even preface by saying, I know you do the show sitting down, so thank God you aren't standing up because you'd be on the floor right now. Yes. It has been, it's only 200 meters, but it's going to be, and there still will be one shared path, but it's going to be narrow and it's going to be opened up to parking for the course of the winter.
Well,
if you want to go take a picture of it, it's on Avenue La Joie between Stewart and Outremont. Okay? But there you go.
Wow. And I would guess, we don't know, but I would guess I should point out there's an NDG Côte-des-Neiges mayor now, and Stephanie Valenzuela replacing the former mayor. Mm-hmm. That Terrebonne bike path split opinion pretty badly in that part of the community, right? Mm-hmm. I wonder if that maybe would be next on the list.
You never can tell, Aaron, but I'm just telling you this. When I saw this today, as gobsmacked as I was with this development with the whole voting thing. I saw this and I laughed out loud and I said, you know what? Aaron is going to be so happy when he hears this news.
And so will everybody else who lives on La Joie. All right.
I know, eh?
Jim, thank you. That's good news.
Always a pleasure,
By the way,
Aaron.
Jim, before I let you go, she's going to be in studio. Would you like anything on your behalf to ask her? Anything you want to touch on?
How I know she and usually when she talks about the priorities, the first thing she talks about is homelessness. Yep. And I realize that the city is there's a lot of other people who are involved in this, but has she set out some kind of a timeline that we're going to start to see a change? Not a complete solution, but the beginning of the end of the chaos that we've been seeing year after year and certainly winter after winter in this city about the encampments, about the numbers which seem to be going, and the apparent inability of any level of government to deal with this effectively.
Okay.
So what's the timeline?
All right. Jim, I thank you. I appreciate it.
Unmistakably Canadian.
It's the music that raised you.
The artists raising the bar.
Hi, this is Bryan Adams.
Hey, my name's Brett Emmons. I'm from the Glorious Sons.
Hi, I'm Nelly Furtado.
Made in Canada. The station that champions Canadian music.
Loud, proud, and all yours.
No passports required. Just press play.
Tap into Made in Canada now on iHeartRadio.ca
Or the free iHeartRadio app.